So my question to you was, what is like one of the biggest achievements you've done, like you're most proud of in your line of work? I know that your line of work is like, there's so much going on and so much new information, but what is one like of your, it could be something small, just something you're so super happy with and you're super proud of what you were able to get done?
Yeah, I think that's a great question also, right? Because we being proud of this work is really important, and being proud of any of the work you're doing and is important, especially with issues like this where it's kind of heavy and we have to learn about horrible things that are happening in the world every day and it's getting worse and worse. Finding things that make you driven to keep doing it are really important. And for me right now, the thing that I thought of first when I read this question is our zero waste initiative. So we had just started in 2018. We had an international conference in San Diego called the 6th International Marine Debris Conference. And we were able to make that whole event, which was for over 700 participants, zero waste, which was really important. So we took away any kind of single-use utensils or napkins or plates or anything else that would have been used at the conference for coffee breaks or snack breaks or even passing out programs to people, and we made it zero waste. And it actually got a lot of attention and was really well received. So we took that idea and kind of ran with it and thought that, of course, NOAA, who is responsible for protecting the oceans, should have a zero waste initiative as well. And we started really small in the marine debris program. We put together this kind of like a tote bin that you would, I don't know, put your Christmas decorations in kind of thing. And we put plates and napkins and coffee cups in there, and then we shipped it around to all the different regional coordinators so that every time we were holding a meeting, we had all those supplies ready for us.
Oh, wow.
And just last year, with using that one kit only, we saved 13,000 items from going to landfill. So we submitted that idea to leadership higher up than us in NOAA and said, this is really something that should be across the whole division. And they loved the idea. So we started a zero waste initiative across the whole National Ocean Service. So moving forward, we're starting to make all of our meetings zero waste. We just applied for a grant that will allow us to purchase enough supplies for 45 of those kits. And we can put them in NOAA offices all over the country, which I'm super, super proud of. So I'm really happy to see that moving forward. And I think it's a way for us to kind of set an example for everyone that we work with. And you know, making things zero waste is not impossible. And if anybody should be doing it, it should be us. And so that's something I'm super proud of right now.
Yeah, that's really amazing that you were able to do that with like such a big group of people, because I know I went to I don't know what the club was exactly called, but it was like an environmental club at our school. And I know that one of our things was, how do we bring the waste on at our school?
Right.
And like, even with a small school, maybe like the most people, like all the people at school is equivalent to like 200 people. We ourselves were having a lot of trouble doing that. So for you to be able to do that in such a big place is amazing.
It's really challenging, right? What's your guys' kind of cafeteria or lunch system like? Do you have reusable supplies in there, or is it all throw out?
Well, we have like compost, our trays are compostable or whatever, but like the silverware and stuff is plastic. I think might be recycled plastic, but it's still plastic and it's single use.
Sure.
We have compost, recycle, and waste, but and like the environmental class has to sort through the trash sometimes, but
in fact, we have
yes,
I see Amanda shaking her head there. We have a representative from the environmental science class who, once you're done with your
oh yeah, I'm done.
Amanda, do you want to chime in, because I know you're on the front lines of that?
Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating because a lot of people like aren't sorting their trash, so we have to go in and do it after the fact.
Right.
And then also the thing about the compostable trays is that technically they are, but it's really hard to get it like processed and shredded down to the point where that's like feasible at our school.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I usually advise people if they're looking at we get a lot of emails about compostable trays like that or compostable utensils. And unless you have access to an industrial composting facility, those things generally aren't processed correctly. So that can be challenging too. But Amanda and Isabel was the other student that was asking this question. If you guys want some of our resources for how we set up the Zero Waste Initiative and different things that we're doing to teach people about it, just send me an email. I'll send you all of those things and maybe they can help at your school too.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Amanda, if you want to do a project with me on that, I would love to do it with you.
Yeah, I'll work with you. I'll post my email in the chat box, I guess. Would that be useful?
Sure.
Fantastic. And just to give kind of a zoom out on the history of plastics use at our school, we've definitely kind of been very mindful of single use. I think about 10 years ago, we switched to not having plastics on campus as far as water bottles. We've encouraged kids to bring their own reusable water bottle. We've also, with respect to single-use plastics at our vendor who provides lunch to a lot of the students, those were made of cornstarch, but we only just started to unearth the fact that it is difficult to process some of these things locally. So we've encouraged, and Amanda, correct me, chime in here, we've really encouraged people to bring their own fork, spoon, and knife every day for lunch. And a lot of kids have gotten on board with bamboo or metal, kind of like as a cool showing of support.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I don't want to take us too far down this rabbit hole because I know we have other questions, but something that has been kind of like pinging in my mind recently and that maybe you guys can think about too, is in the current context of this whole pandemic. Unfortunately, some states and cities and towns, like the town I live in Massachusetts, Gloucester, has a plastic bag ban. And that was lifted in light of the pandemic, and actually reusable bags were banned from our grocery stores because people are so nervous about bringing things in from your home into public places. So I think the way that we message our reusable supplies and single-use plastics and the whole zero waste initiative is going to shift once we can all kind of go back to work and go back to school. So that's something to kind of think about as well. But we can chat about that in our separate conversation.
Yeah. I know Mia is absent today, but she had a great question, which was, she framed it as, what's the smallest thing we can do to aid in climate change? I guess what she meant is, what can we do on an individual level that has great impact?
Yeah, that's a great question. And my work is less focused on climate change specifically. So I don't know if I'm the best person to say the smallest thing that will give you the biggest impact. But I really think that any small change you can commit to is important. Like if you can do a meatless Monday, or use public transportation, of course, once it's safe, or try turning off some of your electronics sometimes and just do that on a consistent routine basis. Those small things, baby steps, are going to make the biggest difference.
Thanks for watching. For more information, visit our website at www.futurefrogmen.org.